The paper we're diving into today is Pet-Based Family Model as a Global New Family Form, a Qualitative Study, written by Ali Ozturk, Ismail Chiritli, and Elif Shaheen.
Yeah, I have to admit, when I first saw the title, I wasn't even sure what a pet-based family totally meant. But as I read through it, I was kind of fascinated. It's basically about the idea that pets are becoming central members, sometimes even the most important members, of families, instead of just add-ons or companions.
Right, and the core question they're really asking is something fundamental about how we define family changing? Are pets blurring the old boundaries? That might sound, I don't know, a little abstract, but think about it. More people are living alone, or families have fewer or no children, and yet there's this strong, almost instinctive urge to form tight, emotionally meaningful bonds.
Exactly. And Ozturk and his co-authors argue that in this context of global social transformation, think modernization, individualism, digital life, all those, pets are starting to fill in roles that both historically and emotionally have always belonged to human kin. Sometimes the pet even sort of outranks other family members.
The study, methodologically, is pretty interesting. They used a qualitative, phenomenological approach, doing in-depth interviews with 17 people from diverse backgrounds, mostly in Antalya, Turkey. But they argue that this region is a useful microcosm for a wider, even global trend.
I know some people, honestly, who'd say, well, isn't it obvious that people treat their pets like family? But this is about more than, say, a cat sleeping on the end of your bed, right? They're really digging into what happens, psychologically, socially, emotionally, when the line between person and animal sort of dissolves.
And it's not just a sentimental observation. Like, they found that people will organize their daily routines, their holidays, even their home design around their pets' needs. Some participants described their dog or cat as, literally, the boss of the house. Others talked about how their relationships with other humans became less important compared to the support and unconditional love they felt from their pets.
That's a pretty major shift from older family models where, kinship and blood ties were everything. And honestly, I guess it makes sense. Living in more isolated, digitalized societies, maybe it's easier to feel close to a dog than a distant cousin.
One really nuanced finding is about the emotional and psychological impact. Participants reported that pets helped with loneliness, provided comfort during hard times, even improved family relations by creating new opportunities for shared responsibility and communication. Like, who's walking the dog? Who's feeding the cat?
There are downsides too, right? Some folks describe tensions, like if the pet needs special care, travel becomes tricky, or there's stress when other people don't want to enter a pet home. But most viewed these inconveniences as minor compared to the emotional benefits.
Right, and it's not all cats and dogs either. The authors discuss how this shift is woven into much bigger trends. Increased individualization, the so-called post-familial society. All those changes theorists like Beck and Beck-Gernsheim talk about.
Oh, and I thought it was interesting that they connect this too to new laws and cultural practices, like animal welfare, legal inheritance for pets, even dating apps for pet owners. You can see the ripple effects across society.
Yeah, I can't help but wonder. I once tried to put a little birthday hat on my cat. She hated it. Maybe she isn't evolving into the center of my family just yet.
Ha! Well, maybe your cat is just keeping her boundaries clear. But it makes you think, does this mean family is less about biology and more about choice and feeling?
That's really the question the paper's posing, I think. It doesn't offer absolute truth. It's more an invitation, like, hey, look at this unfolding trend. What does it mean for how you define family, how you structure your home, your priorities?
It's a shift worth reflecting on, whether you're a pet owner or not. Maybe family isn't fixed, but something we keep collectively reinventing.
Exactly. Academic research like this just helps us look at that process a little more closely, you know?
And next time someone calls their dog their kid, we can be like, ah, yes, the emergent pet-based family model. Very modern of you.
Ha! Perfect!